Heidi ho, my crafty friends. This is Lori at the Ladybug Journals, and I am so glad you joined me today in my craft room. Today we are going to do something a little different. I spoke, I don't know how many videos ago, I don't know, it was a couple of them, about using a canvas to create in our journals. And Sherry, over at Spikes Girl 7879, said, "Oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do that." And I said, "Okay, let's do that together." She said, "Oh, that even sounds like more fun." So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to create something with one of my canvases. Now, what do I mean by that? So a little while back, I think it was in the fall, I took some of my canvases that I had created. They were on canvas boards, and I took them off. See, it's just regular canvas, okay? And these two here are mixed, well, they're all three mixed medias. And I took them off of the canvas, okay? And if you haven't seen that, there's a short over on my Instagram page that'll show you how I did it. It's real easy. It does take some time, but it's real easy to do. And I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do it and what I want to do. And I want to put them in the journals. So this one, I thought, this one would be easy. Now, of course, they do need straightened up. So I do need to grab the knife here. And you'll see the green lines on my board. That's to help me keep in shot, because I am trying a different camera angle today to help me stay a little more where I need to be instead of getting out of shot. And I did move my camera, so hopefully that will help. If it doesn't, you guys let me know, and we'll try something else. I film with my phone, which is an Android, and Androids, for those of you that have them, they are not cooperative when it comes to flipping things around. They just do not like to do that. They film in one direction and one direction only, so you physically have to turn the camera to get a different angle. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. So let's take a look at these and see what we can come up with. This one I think would be easy for either of the journals that we're going to do. And when I say either of the journals, this is the altered book that we've been working in on Mondays. So we could take this one anywhere in here. And if you haven't seen any of those pages or any of those videos, catch them on Mondays. Those are fun. And we could, this is three pockets that we're going to be creating right here. And we could attach this. We could attach it here, find a good spot to attach it, and then cut through. And then when they lay flat, they line up and create it. We would lose part of our B though, but we could cut some of this off and try to keep most of the B, or we could bring it back. We could bring it back here to some of the bigger pockets that we're making, like in this one where we tore this big pocket. And we could make it so, in these big pockets, you don't have to go all the way to the bottom if you don't want. But we could make it come so that you see is down here, and we could make it so that it goes like this. Now that's not too bad. And I do like the other idea too. Okay, so there's a couple of ideas there. Of course, we can always just put it on a full page and then create on the full page. Or we can cut it down to size and make it, flip out. We can always do that. Add a flip on the side, cut it down to size, and then use what we cut down as our flip and have it flip out so that it extends on the page. Okay. Now these two, I think are going to be, these two having more texture. They've got beads on them, especially this one here. This one's got beads. It's got textured ribbon. It's got, what is that stuff called? Twine, twine down here wrapped around her legs. This one's got a lot of texture on it. This one just has the beads on the sunflower. But I think either this one or this one I think would be easiest to do. So we're going to put this one aside for now. And we're going to work with these two. But we got to decide what we're going to do with them. So I think to make this one work, I think I want to put it in here and I want to make it a flip. So I need to decide what page I want to put it on before I can do anything with it. Where am I going to put it? Since it flips out, yeah, this has been a fun journal to work with. I think I want to put it here. But before we put it here, I want to cover the page. So let's see here. Okay, so this page has nothing on it, front or back. And so I can put it on either side. Okay, and that page doesn't either. So I think I would like to put it on this page and have it go. Save some of the leaf and wrap it around the page and then have it go out like that and have something over here. So I'm not going to cut off a lot of the leaf, but I will have to cut off some of this side, which that would be okay. But I'm going to have to cut off some of the top to make it fit because as you can tell, it's quite a bit bigger than the page. And then this one, I think we can cut down to make pockets with. Yeah, that'll be really pretty as some pockets. So let's do that. Let's cover this page before we make this a flip out. And being heavy, being a canvas, this textured page is going to add some bulk to our book. So that's something that we need to remember. So let's cover this page. Let's find some paper and cover this page. And I'm looking at a page here. I think that will work. I didn't seek it out. It just so happens to be sitting here on my desk from another project that I did earlier in the week. And I think I like it. And I think the colors will go all right. So let's look here. Yeah, I think the colors will go all right. And what caught my eye was the bird's nest. That's what caught my eye. Because there's a little bird and there's a little bird. The pinks, I know, I'm sorry, you can't see that. The bird's nest and the bird, the pinks, go nicely. The greens are in there and the blues. So let's cut this page down here. And I'm going to put the canvas on the page here so we don't lose it. And I'm going to sit it aside. And let's get out our paper cutter. And let's make some cuts. Okay. Now the first thing we have to do is, of course, we have to cut off this top strip. And you guys know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to save it, especially the back half. And it's going to go in my strip box. And it's, not as provocative as it sounds. Now, the part I'm going to save is this back part here. I'm going to save it. So let's get our scissors out. I'm going to save that. Okay, so now I just need to measure this. Let's set this aside. And I need to measure this to see what we need for our book. And I'm thinking maybe I want to move it toward the back. So let's come here toward the back. I don't want it at the back, but I want it kind of toward the back, because the back really isn't getting much done right now. It does have that one big pocket. What's that? That's a pocket. I don't want a pocket page. I want just maybe this page here. Let's see. Yeah, let's do this page here. All right, so let's measure this. Let's see what we have here. And let's see where we're going to end up. So if we put it here, let me grab the pencil. And we have to take off up to here. And we have to take off widthwise. Now we're going to fold some of this in. How much are we going to fold over? Well, I only want to fold over, I think, to the bird's tail. So let's see. So on the back, let's see, let's measure this. How much to the bird's tail? That's about an inch. So let's maybe try folding over maybe 3/4 of an inch. So let's measure in 3/4. You know what? Before we do that, let's straighten up our edge. Let's straighten up our edge. So let's take this, and so you can see what I'm doing here. And it doesn't matter that you can't see the very tippity top. That's okay. It's just blue. But I want you to see how I'm measuring this. I can move this over though so you can see. But I know you're not seeing the very tippity top. That's okay. I'm just going to trim off, a little piece on the edge here. Okay, I know that didn't go through. There it goes. Now I can feel it. There. Okay, now my edge is straighter. All right, so let's measure in 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And that'll take us right before the tail. Okay. Now let's see how tall we are going to need it. Let's see, we measured it, didn't we? Right here. Right there was the height. So the height, right above the bird's beak. So maybe we could take a little bit off on the bottom too, because we wouldn't lose much on the bottom. So maybe let's move this down a little bit. So right here was where we said on the height. Let me find the top of the page. Yeah, this is going to be a little squirrely. Right there is where we said. So maybe if we move it up a little bit so we can keep more of the bird, and we'll take a little bit off of the bottom. I think that'll work. So let me mark here. I know this is a squirrely way to measure, I know. But that's where we're going to take off across the bottom. But you got to do what you got to do, don't you? So let's see. What do we measure here? I measured just a smidgen over a half. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's come over here. They should make these numbers glow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. Now let's see if I can line this up straight. I can't guarantee my bottom's straight, which is pretty bad if you got a lopsided bottom. That's all I can tell you. No, the bottom is not straight. I can tell. All right, so let's straighten the bottom up. Before we do any cutting, let's straighten up the bottom. So let's line it up on the line. Okay. Okay. Now the bottom is straight. Now let's measure again. I know you guys are looking at the top of my head, and I apologize for that. 1, 2, 3. All right, we didn't take off much. And I'm just measuring. This is what I'm doing here. One, 2, 3. Okay. Right there. That still doesn't look straight. That looks straight. That looks straight. Okay, I'm really crooked. My brain is really crooked, or this thing is really crooked, but okay. We're going to go with what looks straight to me. Okay, so now let's go back with the top. Let's go on and cut this off. I think that'll be easier. We're just going to take it whatever we get, we get. It's a junk journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? It's a junk journal. There we go. See, that wasn't too much. That was just the stem. Okay, so we know this is going to be the bottom. I know it's not this page, but I just want to measure here. Let's stand this up. And let's look over here. So I can mark the page and I can show you a little easier. Okay. Now over here, right here. Now when I cut, I'm going to cut below this line. Okay. I'm going to cut below that. And this is my width. When I fold, I'm going to fold inside that line. And then that's going to be a tuck on the inside of the page. Okay. This is going to be a tuck on the inside of my page. Or on the other side of my page, I mean. All right, so let's see if this side is straight. So we know these two sides are straight. Let's make our top straight. Where's our line? There it is, right there. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable using this type of blade, you can always use your craft knife if you want. Now, see, that didn't take off anything that was terrible, and we can use that. We can use this for other things. So that'll be good to save. Now, we're not cutting this, we're folding it, okay? And that's going to take us right there to the flowers. So that'll be good. That'll be nice. I think we just changed the way we're folding this. You all knew that was going to happen, didn't you? Yep. Yep, you all knew that was going to happen. Because this will give me a good pocket on the other side. We're going to put it on the other side. All right, let's put this away. I think I want it on this side. I want it on this page. And then this is going to be a side pocket. So it's going to sit like this. And I can even make my fold smaller. Yeah, that's all I want to see over there, like that. Just like that. Okay. So I can take this off. Now, I haven't cut the cardstock yet. I'm still working on this. Now, because this is acrylic paint, I need to be careful going over this. I don't want to chip it off. Okay. Now, I'm going to see if this will cut this. I really don't know if it will. I don't even know if it'll... No, it won't. Okay, so I'm going to have to use the big guy. Let's see if I got the big guy here. Okay, let me grab him. Let me grab him out of the drawer. You guys know who I'm talking about, don't you? Okay, he's hiding from me. There he is. Come on, big boy. I think he'll cut through canvas. What I'm talking about is my Crop-A-Dile. We're going to use him because I think he'll cut through this. There we go. He didn't like it, but he did it. Oh, boy. So your Crop-A-Dile will even cut through canvas. There we go. Yeah, and if you keep things there. Oh, yes, I like that. Much better. All right, so we're going to keep that out. Okay, so now let's cut our paper to this size. It needs to be this size, okay? So let's mark our paper. Okay, now remember, I'm going to keep that. I don't need that. Yeah, I think we'll keep that. We don't need that. Now, I want to keep this part. Okay, so I want to put, let's see here, to cover that page. Okay, so we're putting, Uh-oh, I've already lost our page, you guys. Okay, it's going around here like this. And I want this on that page. So it's going to have to go like that. Yeah, this is the cheater's way of measuring, and I do this quite a bit. Okay. Now, one thing you want to remember is you don't want your paper going down into here. Okay, you don't want it in there. Okay, so basically what I did was I just folded it. Okay, use my bone folder, and now I'm going to use this. Now let's make sure when I take that off, let's put it on our page because that's where I want it. Yeah, if I have to trim a little bit off of it, that's okay. Now for the height, it's going to be right about there. Okay, let's move our book. Where is it? Okay, let's go on and trim it this way first. Let's line this up. Okay, I can't see it. There it is. Okay, it's a nice big piece. And okay, and this piece. All right, let me mark off my pencil here, or erase my pencil. All right, I'm just going to sit this off to the side. Now, let's make sure that this fits, or if we need to trim it. I think we're going to need to trim it a little bit because I think it's going to stick down into here too far. Yeah, we're going to trim it off just a smoosh. Just a smoosh. Because I don't want it that close to the not the signature. I don't want it that close to the spine. Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, I have enough. I could also cover this page with the back of this if I wanted. You know, you can go on and do that. If you have, you know, double-sided paper like I do. Okay, so the best way to determine if your page fits, excuse me, I am so sorry, is to line it up on your page. Now, I always just use a couple of paper clips to hold it in place for a minute, like this, so that I can there we go. And then I lay it down. And is it going to lay where I want it to? Originally, that was all I wanted to see, so I'm good. And then I lay it over. Make sure I'm not hanging out. Okay, I'm good. So I can glue my paper down, and this is where I want it. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it there. Now, before I glue, do I want these inside corners rounded? Because once I get it glued, I can't do anything with it. So, I don't think I do. On this page, I don't think I do. But I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm just going to, and I know I haven't done the part that's up against the You know, the other piece. I know that. I'll get that in just a minute. I want to go on and get this on here. And then I'll smoosh it down. And then once I take those paper clips off, okay, you've got a clog, don't you? Well, you could have told me before I started. Come on. Come on out of there. Yeah, you still got a clog. All right, we're going to take this off here because I think that's where your clog is. Yep, that's where your clog is. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it over. Now, by leaving the paper clips on, it stayed exactly where I wanted it to stay. It didn't move. It didn't wiggle around. Okay. And if I didn't get everything under here where I wanted it, I can come back to it. That's okay. I can just come right back to it. Okay. Now, I can take these paper clips off because I know the rest of the page is already glued. Now, you could also just glue it down with a glue stick. And I have done that many, many, many times. But this is also another way I like to do it. Okay. Especially when the page is still in the book like this. I do it this way a lot. Okay. Now, since I'm gluing down canvas, actual canvas, I will put this away and I will use, there we go, and I will use my Fabri-Tac. And the reason being I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac is because canvas, like fabric, okay, see this? I did not get glue here. So I'm going to take that out. And before I can use this, I got to push my little clog through. There it is, right there. Canvas, like fabric, is very porous. And if I were to try to use my art glitter glue, my Behr, my Behrly Arts, it would just soak it up and I would get nowhere fast. So what I like to do is I like to use my Fabri-Tac for things like that. And Fabri-Tac it'll still take a minute, but it will hold it. I know it'll hold it better. All right, so let me get this edge here that I didn't get. Okay. There we go. Now I know once I close this book that will hold down better. Okay. Now our canvas is right here. And it's going to go this way. Now, on the page that we just put down, we could put pockets. We could create a big pocket. It could just be left for journaling. This could just be left for journaling. It could be, it could be any number of things. And as we continue working in this journal, who knows what we'll come up with. Okay, so I have scooted this up where I want it, and I've made sure, top and bottom are where I want it, and the fold is where I want it. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to take some paper clips. I'm going to hold it down at the top. I'm going to put a paper clip at the top. I'm going to put one paper clip at the bottom. That's all I'm doing. I just want to hold it in place. That's the only reason they're there. See, that's the only reason they're there is to hold them in place, to hold that canvas in place. Now, remember, this is going to be a side tuck. Okay, so I only want, because it's a tuck and not a pocket, I'm only going to glue across the bottom and maybe up a little bit on the side. So I'm going to come up just a little bit on the side around that corner and across the bottom. But I'm not going to be shy with my glue. Okay, that's all I'm going to glue. Well, maybe my arm. Maybe I'm going to glue my arm. Then I'm going to take off this paper clip and I'm going to fold this down. And then any glue that oozes out the side, I need to wipe off. If I don't, my page will stick over there. And that's the one thing I love, love, love about Fabri-Tac is if you get it while as it's drying, you can just rub it right off. Okay? So now, rub it off the bottom. Anything that's coming out the bottom. Now I can open my flip up and I can take these paper clips and I can put them back, except I'm going to add a couple where I glued. I can add a couple. Get off of there now. There. I can add a couple where I've glued. Down here, I'm going to add a couple. And the reason I'm adding some, of course, is to hold down the glue. There. And that's also going to tell me, hey, there was wet glue there. Come back and check on it. And then I'm going to open it up, fold it back in, and we've added a piece of canvas and our original art to our book. And we are done with this glue. We can put it away. All right then. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Okay, so now let's take our other one. Let me see how much time we've used here first before we start on our other one. Oh, that wasn't bad. That was just 30 minutes. All right, so we have time to use our other one. So I'm going to put this book aside, and I'm going to grab our little green journal here. And here's our little green journal right here. So we're going to take our bumblebee, and we're going to make some pockets to go in our little green journal. So we need our paper cutter, and we're going to need our scissors and our glue. And we're also going to still need our Fabri-Tac. Okay, so now, again, we need to decide where we're going to put this because we know we have to cut pages. So I think I want to put this here in signature 2, right here in the middle. Or you know what? I don't think, let's see. How about? Let's see, does signature 3 have anything in the center? Let's see. Oh, it does. All right, let's go back to 2. How about, I know, don't y'all love hearing me going toot, toot, toot? Okay, how about right here? We'll put something right here. Now we could put it like this, you know, move it down a little bit, and all we'd have to trim off here is across the bottom. First thing, let's clean up our edges and see what we actually have to work with. Because I'm thinking if we put it in the middle, we could have a side tuck here, a side tuck here, or if we cut it, let me look at it for a second. Let me move our journal. Because either way, we're going to have to trim it. Because those pages are a little narrow. So let's straighten this up. Because maybe by the time we get it straightened up, it will be, oh gracious, that is so far not straight, isn't it? All right, let's scoot it over here. This was one of the very first mixed media pieces I ever made, and it still stands today as being my favorite. Oh no, I just liked the colors, and it stood in my greenhouse. Actually, yeah, did it stand or hang? I think it hung in my greenhouse for years. For probably about 2 years, it hung in my greenhouse. Okay, it needs to come through. And it's got about 7 layers on it. And it started with a decoupage of here we go, of a plain piece of paper that I did just like a napkin. You know how we take the layers off of a napkin? That's exactly how I started with it. I took all the layers off the paper just like we do a napkin. And I used packing tape to do it. It took me over an hour to do that. But boy, it sure was fun. It's got inks, and it's got watered down paints, and oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, I think the top needs straightened up a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, that one's nice and straight. Okay, so do you remember just a little bit ago I said if we cut it in sections, then we could put the sections together to make pockets that when they were sitting on the page, they would come together. I think that's what I want to do in our little green journal. Let's get that paper out of the way. I think that's what I want to do here. I want to take, where are the pages at here? I think we can take these 2 pages right here and we'll put them together as pockets, and then we'll cut them, to make pockets. And then we'll attach this. But I think the best way to do it would be first to attach this. It would be the easiest way to do it. And then cut the pockets and then slice it. But I think the easiest way to create the pocket would be to create this page as the pocket first. So let's do that. So to do that, our page is, and you don't even have to measure. Our page is right at 8 1/4 inches long, and it is, this is going to be a little difficult to measure. It is 4 1/2 inches wide. So we could take and make, I want 3 side loading pockets. So let's see, if we just, you can make them any width you want. That's what I did on the other one. So where is my pencil? So what you're going to do is you're going to take your ruler and you're going to decide. Now you guys know I like my pockets to be roughly 2 inches, 2 inches deep. well, because my page is 2 inches, I mean 8 and a quarter, I'm going to make each of my pockets about, let's see, that would be 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I'm going to make my pockets about 2 and a quarter. And then I'm going to put 1/4 of an inch between them, because that's going to be my cutting line. Okay. And I'm going to do this all the way up the page. Okay, my top pocket is going to be a little bit wider. Okay, so then I'm going to take this and I'm going to draw all the way across. So I'm going to have room enough for 2-inch tags in my pockets. And the reason I'm drawing on this paper is so that when I go to put my glue down, I can see where my glue goes. Okay? This is what I'm doing. I marked my pockets. These pockets are 2 1/4 inches, and there's 1/4 inch between each of the pockets. My top pocket, oops, I missed. My top pocket is going to be, that's better. I guess I probably should draw that line out. My top pocket is a little bit over 3 inches, and that's okay. I don't mind it being bigger. Okay, I need this line to be bigger. This is my pocket line. Okay, I'm sorry, this is my glue line. This is my glue line. So for here, I can, oh, you know what? We're going to do it over here. We're going to do it on this page. It'll be easier. So the page that I just drew on is my glue line. So I'm going to take my glue, and I don't even know what glue I picked up. And I'm going to follow that top line, that 1/4 inch line between the pockets. That's my glue line. And I'm following it all the way across. Okay? And then I'm going to stand my pages up, just like this. And I'm going to glue in those sections. Okay, now I have my pockets, and I didn't glue at the bottom yet. I don't want to. I want to be able to see what I'm doing. So now I know I can measure up from the bottom 2 1/4 inches right here, and I can cut, because I know if I put 1/4 of an inch between it, there's my glue line. And I can cut right above it. So let me show you. Now, where'd my scissors go? There they are. So I can cut right here. See? This space is open. So I can cut right here. Who wants to bet that this pocket, I should have cut above that line, but I didn't. You should cut above your glue line. I just realized what I did. Okay? You should cut above your glue line. Don't do what I did. Do what I say. Cut above your glue line. Because now I got to glue this one. Okay, here's my bottom pocket now. Oops. So my next pocket, I'll show you what I mean. I'll show you what I did wrong. Oh, gravy. Oh, good gravy. Okay, this is the first pocket. The next pocket has glue here. And glue here. Okay? So I'm going to cut right here. This pocket's glued. Oops. I just tried to punch through wet glue, I think. Right here. This pocket's glued. There's that pocket. This pocket, yep, that was what I did. I tried to punch through wet glue. This is our top pocket. It's the one that's a little bit bigger. Not by much, but a little bit. I'm going to glue it. Now, this one only gets glue on the bottom. Okay? Unless you want a top loading pocket, then you can glue on the side. I want all my pockets to be side loaders. So I'm gluing the top of this one. Like that. And then remember, stand them up. And mine aren't cut straight. You all knew they wouldn't be. Mine aren't cut straight. I knew they wouldn't be. And then you put your punch in the middle. Okay? Now, in mine, I have 3 different size pockets. They're very, very crooked. Now we can add this, and before we cut again, we'll be able to cut from the back. See, we'll see our lines in the back. We'll be able to cut from the back. Oh my goodness, they're so very crooked. But that's the whole process. You just need to cut straighter than I do. Oh my gracious, that's pitiful. Okay, so now we just need to decide where we want to cut. Oh my goodness. Okay, so right here, I think is what's going to give us the best of this. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to follow the page. Go like this. Like that. Okay, and there's our page. I don't know if you can see those little lines on there or not, but there's our page. So let's move the book. Now, I think, no, I know that won't cut through there. All right, I know that won't cut through there. Now, let's make sure we cut this straight. Okay. Now remember, whenever you use your knife, keep your fingers back and push down. Well, that's not too bad. He lost part of his wings, but not too bad. Oh, yeah, that's not too bad. He still looks like a bumblebee. Okay, and of course these will get saved. You know, they'll get saved. Ooh, that's a nice one. Okay, so this is going to get attached onto here. Okay, so let's get our glue. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to get my thumb notches punched back in. Okay, let's go on and do the top section. Now, you'll notice I didn't put glue over the middle. I just put it on the actual pockets. Okay, let's stand these up. And you always stand up when you're gluing something that's in a book. And I think I'm going to wait to cut it until after it dries. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let this dry really well before I cut the pockets. And again, I'm going to put some paper clips on them, you know, to help hold this canvas in place. There. Okay. Let's get some paper clips on them. And that'll just help hold the canvas down so it's not wiggling. And then anything that we need to trim, we can come back and trim after it's dry. Okay, let's get these on here. Okay, that'll just kind of, these will just kind of help hold this canvas in place. Now see, I think I've scooted something out of whack because there's a wider gap here than there is here. So let me scoot this one up real quick before it gets too dry. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I'd really have a crooked pocket then, wouldn't I? There. So I'm just rubbing my hands on it, getting the glue to make some good contact. Oh, that's going to be pretty when we make those, cut those pockets. Now I can go back and make sure that that's got plenty of glue in there after it dries a little bit and I'm not pulling it off. And then we can also go back and we can decorate it, you know, any more we want with stickers or, you know, anything like that that you like to decorate with. Now, what I wouldn't use is, you know, I like to use things like charms and stuff. Now is not the time to put charms on it because I would be going through my pocket unless I just put them up here and I didn't interfere with the pocket. Now the other page, I could do that because it's not a pocket, that charms would interfere with. So I could do that on that page. Okay, so now we have lots of fun to have in our journals, and we've got our own artwork in them, which is always fun to have in our journals. You should always have your own artwork, at least on one page in your journal, at least on one page. It's your journal. And it makes it a little more personal. So I thank you so much for coming to join me today here at the Ladybug Journals in playing with our mixed media canvases and having some fun. And if you're new to the channel and this is the first time you've popped in to say hi, welcome. I'm so glad that you did pop in to say hi. I hope you come back again. And if you're a current subscriber and you're coming back because you just have fun being here, welcome back to you. I'm so glad you did come. If you're not a subscriber yet, I invite you to subscribe. There's always fun to be had here at the Ladybug Journals. We're always finding things to get into. As you can tell, today we played with canvases. So come on back and play and have some fun with us. You know how to subscribe. It's all down there at the bottom. You know where it is, right down there. And I invite you to like and subscribe and share. Hit that share button. Send it out to your friends and make sure that they're all aware of what's going on over here and they can come have some fun with you. So until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.